Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all okay. This is so exciting to film a personal Q&A. I popped up a post on YouTube the other day asking what you guys wanted to see, and there were so many of you who wanted a personal Q&A to get to know me a little bit better, my personal life. I guess a bit of business, bit of fitness, but it is more a personal Q&A. Just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who tuned in for the Health is Wealth Summit. All of the videos are on my YouTube channel, and there's a playlist as well that I created called the Health is Wealth event. It was truly incredible, like, wow. So you can go back and rewatch all those, do the workouts, do the yoga flows, the Q&As. The mindset classes are amazing as well. I definitely recommend to listen to them during this time of isolation. But I'm not going to ramble on too much, and I'm going to get in with the questions. So I popped up a question box on YouTube, on Instagram the other day, and there's just so many questions. A lot of them are actually the same in like terms of the personal ones I think you guys want to know, but I've got them all here. Look at that, I've screenshotted like so many questions. So without further ado, number one, tips for buying your first flat or apartment. So this isn't an apartment. Me and my sister bought a house last December. Obviously a big tip is to save up to be able to afford where you want to live, and you can do it strategically. If you want to save X amount, you know you need to save X amount per month until you reach that goal. Obviously if it's a house or apartment, the price is going to completely dependent. Obviously with a house you pay the mortgage and the bills, but with an apartment you're paying rent as well. So obviously that is something to take into consideration. But you just have to prioritise where you're spending your money and how much you actually need to save personally for you. I'm not going to go into details on our house, but we got our house last December, I think. This is a really great question. I've been asked this so many times. What has been your favourite book that you've read recently? I've got so many I want to read. And the thing is about reading, you don't want to buy 10 million different books and try and read them all. You want to be strategic and just go through like a chapter a day of your book, and you'll find it far easier to actually finish a book. So putting that time aside to read a book. My favourite book that I've nearly finished is called The Power of Now. I'll put a picture on the screen for you. It's incredible. It really helps you focus on being present and being in the now and not focusing on the future or the past, and just being present. It really helps if you're an anxious person as well. So this one's a similar question. It's about business. How did you create your following for business? What was your first step in setting up a business? So in terms of the first steps, I initially started on Instagram probably 3 years ago now, maybe 2.5 years ago. I was just posting for myself and my own accountability, and it ended up turning into more of a business as the brand Lucy Davis Fit became a thing. And then myself and Ben created the MYCOACH school, which is our online coaching academy, and we now have 33,000 members. So that started approximately 2 years ago, maybe 1.5 years ago properly. Obviously your first steps in setting up a business, you need to know what you actually want to achieve from that business. So essentially, what's the mission, what's the strategy to get there, what's the plan, how much do you believe in it, what resources do you have. And if you've got all of those steps and you feel like you can push forward, there's no reason why you can't create whatever you want to create. So we turned our passion and our hobby into a business, and obviously it's different for every single person depending on what you'd want to go down the route. But the other half of that question was to do with fitness. So if it's like online coaching, if it's creating a coaching school, a coaching academy, subscription business, you have to obviously be willing to put so much time into that business and energy and everything and passion, because if you're not passionate about something, it's going to be really hard to put the amount of time you need into it. And you'll also eventually get to a stage where you are going to have to bring in other people and outsource people to help you, so like a marketing team, web developers, app developers and things like that. But obviously it's all a strategy and a strategic process. The one in terms of how did you create your following, that just has grown over the past 3 years. It wasn't something I ever had intentionally when I first started posting. I only started posting for my own accountability and to actually see my weight gain journey and watching my workout videos, and then it started to blossom. Instagram, I think it literally became a thing properly in terms of influencers like 3 years ago, but I just continued to do what I was doing, posting videos and always posting things to help other people, not to boost my own ego. At the start, it was a lot of boosting my own ego and feeling like, let's post an arse selfie to get loads of likes and taps, and I think a lot of people do that at the start because they think it's going to help their engagement and push them out and boost them, and that's not the point of it. You want to help people constantly with what you're doing. You want to be thinking about other people and how your one post or your one story or IGTV is going to help one person. Do you use any hair products in the mornings to keep your hair looking fresh? No, it actually looks a little bit ratty now, I'm not going to lie. I do look after my hair really well. I've got an IGTV video that I will pop in the description box for my hair care routine. I've just done a skincare routine as well on Instagram. I'm trying to go down the route of a lot more lifestyle things as well because it's constantly being asked. And obviously fitness falls into the category of health. Within health you have like your skincare, your hair care, looking after yourself, so they all fall under one route. But I use Moroccan oil every time I wash my hair. What helps you when you feel the most anxious? So I think for me, reading really helps, or working out. Training really helps me. It releases obviously serotonin. It's like a happy hormone. It makes you feel better. You feel better after the session. You're not concentrating on why you feel anxious. Also go back and listen to Paul Mort's mindset seminar where he talks about anxiety and stress and confidence and strategies and everything like that. So definitely go back and listen to him. But for me personally, it's just reading and taking time out and just like lying down and not focusing on my thoughts. I need to be doing something else to preoccupy my mind. Okay, so these two questions, I've tied them together. They actually came under each other. But this one says, what made you start your fitness journey? And then, do you or ever had an eating disorder like binge eating? So yes and yes. I'm not going to go into detail on the eating disorder one because it's not something I'm comfortable with talking about. And maybe I will in future. I just call it disorderly eating though, and that's what I had when I moved from being a full-time swimmer. So I was a competitive athlete, jumped out of that and became like essentially normal, but all like the habits as a swimmer were still there. So it was really confusing, like what I was eating. Do I do fasted cardio? How much do I train? Do I train 9 times a week still? Like what's going on? So it was a really hard period transition for me, and it is for a lot of athletes. I lost so much weight. I was tiny anyway when I swam, but I lost a lot more weight. So the reason, like I said before, why I started posting on Instagram was because, and Instagram wasn't really a thing back then. It was more so it's like an aesthetic platform. People just post their photos and videos of things, and that's all it really was. And I just started posting workout videos. Like, look, I prop my phone up in the gym and stuff, and I start posting workout videos and progress images for me. And obviously other people started to like it, and it just kind of continued. Do you ever suffer with bloating? Yeah, every day. Like, my stomach goes out so that I literally look like I'm pregnant. It's like a balloon. I just do. I feel like it's so normal, and I feel like you go to bed, you're bloated, you wake up and you're fine. If I'm on my period, I will wake up and I will look like I'm 8 months pregnant, and that's okay. I will just wear a baggy t-shirt all day. Like, it just kind of doesn't bother me anymore because I know it's such a normal thing for our bodies to do. Also, I had a really bad experience when I was really anxious for the past like 2-3 years. Like a while ago, I had surgery on my stomach because my bowel was that inflamed due to the anxiety. So I feel like I'm much more in control of it now after going through something so horrendous. Okay, we're moving on to a lot of the Ben questions now. Would you and Ben do another fitness event? Yes, so just in the Health is Wealth Summit, and we want to do a physical event after isolation, and it'll be incredible. How are you handling being with your boyfriend 24/7? Advice, not killing each other. So we haven't found it difficult being with each other 24/7. We were kind of anyway, so loads of questions have been like, is Ben isolating with you? Yes, obviously he's here all the time. I live with my sister, and it's actually been really nice. We all have our own space in the house, like we're not like all on top of each other. You just have to remember, like, if you're in a relationship and you're in isolation together, you need to do things that make you happy, and your partner needs to do things that make him happy. So if Ben wants to go on FIFA, he'll go on FIFA. I'll read a book, or I'll go for a walk. If he wants to go for a run, he'll go for a run. I'll have a nap. Like, you have to do you. You can't just be like falling at their feet, or he can't be falling at your feet for everything you want to do. Obviously you do stuff together, but you have to be your own person, you have to be individual as well. Also, everyone's emotions are here in isolation when we're usually a bit more down here, so respect each other and respect each other's space. This is an interesting question. It's not actually to do with Ben. Do you stay that lean all year round? Is it healthy to maintain it? Do you have your period? So this is a really interesting question. Now, I genetically do not store body fat on my stomach. That's why I have abs all year round. Or on my upper body. I've got a very lean upper body and back. And I have very thick legs. So I have a lot of muscle and I store all my fat on my thighs. That's just the way that my body is. And it kind of has been for the past 2 years. I had no bum. I had no legs. I was tiny. I grew the muscle, stored the fat in different areas. I pretty much eat the same thing every day. It's enjoyable. I like the food. It sits well with me. There's no issue. And so I will stay pretty much the same all year round. I don't go through phases of cutting necessarily. I'll more so go through a phase of, okay, let's actually build the glutes for the next 3 months. So I will up my calories a little bit. But because I genetically do have a lower body fat up here, you can't really tell that I'm putting on fat because it's not here, it's in my bum. So just make my bum and my legs look bigger. I just enjoy what I eat. On a Saturday and Sunday, I kind of eat whatever I want. I'll always cook something like amazing for Saturday dinner and have a dessert and things, but I just have a really balanced diet, I guess. Yes, I do have a period, by the way, and yes, it's healthy to maintain. I have like 1,900 calories a day, and then I'd say 3,000 on Saturday. Do you want kids? How does Ben feel about them? Yes, I definitely want kids, and so does Ben. We have spoke about it. We have kids' names. I'm not going to share them just because I don't want to. But no, we have spoke about kids and we definitely do want kids in the future. This question came up. Are you and Ben going to live together after isolation? So we were actually planning on getting a house at the end of the year, but that has changed due to lockdown because the house is no longer being built. So I think we're going to do a bit of travelling next year. We already have a few places planned. Fingers crossed if we can go. So we'll get a house at some point next year. Like, we're not necessarily in a rush, but that plan changed at the end of this year, which is sad, but obviously there's worse things going on, far worse things going on, so that'll all be in time. Okay, this kind of runs into what are you and Ben's next steps in a relationship, short and long term? So like I said, we're going to go to Australia and America and things next year. We're going to do a bit of travelling. We'll then get our house and then married, kids. I don't know, I'm so happy. So, oh, this actually came up so many times. I'll actually make this my last few questions because I just looked at the time and I've realised it's quite long. If you could pursue any other career than the one you have now, what would it be and why? So this is a really cute story. I was really obsessed with animals and rocks when I was a kid, like obsessed. Used to read encyclopedias about animals, everything. Love them. Adopted tigers, polar bears, the lot. And then I was a swimmer as well throughout like my whole childhood, like 10 to 18. And I really struggled like revising for my GCSEs. It was really difficult for me. But I still did, was it GCSEs or was it A-levels? No, GCSEs. So I wanted to be a marine biologist. Marine biologist is where it's to do with the ocean and the sea and things like that. Zoologist is obviously land mammals. Always wanted to do it, was so passionate. Obviously as a swimmer, love water baby. When I went to college, that like day thing where you choose your course, I got a B in biology. I got 3 Bs basically for what I needed. It was like ABB. And they were like, oh, because you're a swimmer and you're doing this 9 times a week and you got a B in biology, we don't know if you're going to be able to keep up with the workload. And I was just like, right, okay, like I just didn't really know what to say. It was really hard. Like I was sat with my mum like crying because it was like something I'd always wanted to do since being a kid. But then I look at it as like everything happens for a reason, because I ended up taking business instead of biology. So I did English, business, psychology and sport. So I guess everything happens for a reason. I'm so happy with doing what I do now. But zoologist, snorkeling, like obsessed with it. We did it in Australia and I was just like, oh, would have been so fun to be a marine biologist. But yeah, I'm obviously so happy with what I'm doing, but that was definitely the other career choice. I'll do the last few questions. Do you own your apartment? Yes, it's the house. I own my house. How is it living with your sister? amazing. Like, me and Meg have I'll make this the last question actually. Me and Meg have a really good relationship. We're really similar in age. So I'm 23 and she's 24. Like, we're literally 14 months apart. And we were really close when we were at uni as well, even though she was the year above. I was at Man Uni, she was at Man Met, so we were really close. And then it was just kind of right for us to live together at the time. It's really enjoyable. She's my best mate and my sister, so it is very, very nice. It's also nice isolating together because why not? Like, it is nice. Obviously, we're missing our mum and dad and family and things. But yeah, she's amazing. I feel like that was a nice question to end on. Oh, you know me a bit better now. That was really nice. I enjoyed that a lot. There was a lot of questions. I know I was speaking so quick, and it's because there are hundreds that I could answer. I could always do a part 2, and we could do like way more personal stuff, because there was loads in there kind of talking about like relationship advice, living with people, anxiety, like sex, periods, stress. Like, so I could do another one more down like deeper topics, because they are quite deep topics. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.